Hi! Welcome to a special edition of Beige Point. Cat Beige Point. Beige Lean Point?
Check, lean, beige. I didn't think this through.
No, we need to workshop this in a little bit more.
Yeah.
Hey everybody, it's Kathleen and Beige here. Here's the deal. Graham and Paul are extremely busy right now doing paperwork related to moving of office. But we didn't want to leave you high and dry with content, so we thought, hey, I'm here, Beige is here. Why don't we look at some stories, make some notes, and not do the full presentation like we could have written stories, but Paul and Graham didn't have the time to do all the graphics and stuff. So Beige and I are just going to sort of talk about some gaming news that caught our eye this week, and we'll discuss it, and then just have a nice stream. We'll all have a very nice time.
This is Chill Point.
Chill Point. Chill Point.
Points.
Yes. Good job, Beige. Welcome to Chill Point. We're going to be listening to the music of Washed Out and talking about our favorite bong picks for 2017.
Nice.
Because it is dank season.
Yeah, it's time to get yourself some new glass. If you've been letting the rosin build up, you just want, at this point, want to throw that in the trash. And
The rosin?
Yeah.
No.
Doesn't that build up in the bong?
Resin.
Resin? Oh, yeah, right, because I used to play violin, so it's rosin. I never think about the other things. I don't know how to bong.
420, smoke weed. Every checkpoint says, sense amidst madness, which is actually a pretty good name for today. All right, so here's the news that caught our eye. If you play Pokemon Go or know somebody who still does, there was a big event in Chicago this week, Pokemon Go Fest, aka Pokemon No Fest, as people were calling it online, because it was... You know, I don't like to throw around the phrase unmitigated disaster, but it really was. So, yeah, here's, according to my notes, it was a huge fiasco is what I used in my notes. Basically, have you ever tried to jam like 35 people onto like one like cell? Like
oh
one,
yeah,
like,
it's
Wi-Fi
miserable.
signal?
Yeah.
Or like you've gone to PAX and like you just can't load the internet.
Yeah.
Imagine letting 20,000 people into one tiny, not tiny, but one area of Chicago, and then expecting them all to play a data-heavy AR game.
Yeah. Yeah, this was not going to work from the start unless they had some really good decisions about infrastructure, which sounds like they didn't.
No, they didn't set up a Wi-Fi network, and they didn't bring any of the like mobile cellular towers that are often brought in for like big sporting events and concerts nowadays.
Right.
So yeah, the network crashed immediately, and nobody could log in. People caught like 4 Pokemon the entire time they were there. So basically, also the park just wasn't laid out all that well, and there was like one line to get in, and the bag check line was excruciatingly slow. And then, like, you know, people were just sort of milling about trying to find information, which was not provided. And so the whole thing was just went from bad to worse, because you waited 3 hours to get in line and then couldn't do anything, right? And there was supposed to be this thing where there's, like, challenge windows where people would be trying to catch certain types of Pokemon during, like, 3 half-hour periods throughout the day. So that would unlock bonuses for all of the players, like double experience or, like, more Stardust or something like that. And that did not fucking work either, because nobody could catch Pokemon, and they were like, you know, so nobody was making the goals. And like, they kept pushing back the start time of the event, so people weren't sure if like the challenge windows were also moving, like, because like this was something that trainers worldwide could participate in. Yeah, and so like, basically John Hankey, who's the I don't know how to pronounce his name, was the CEO of Niantic, like, took the stage, and people were like, we can't play. Fuck John, fuck John.
Fix your game, yeah.
Yeah, somebody threw a bottle at the stage.
Oh, good.
Yeah, like a water bottle, but still.
Okay, still.
Yeah, so the progression of the event was supposed to be like, if people catch enough Pokemon and everyone does really well, you'll unlock a special raid for the players who are at GoFest do, and if they can take down Lugia, then everybody in the world gets to take down Lugia. And at about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, they're like, nope. Shut it all down. You know what? Everybody who's here gets a full refund. They get $100 in Pokecoins added to their accounts. You can just have a Lugia. Turning on raids for everybody. Max rewards for everybody.
Yeah. I mean, you had to have scanned the QR code apparently, but
to
I'm
get
assuming
that
everybody
refund
did.
And stuff.
Yeah.
There was people having trouble scanning that because they couldn't connect to the internet.
Oh, good. Okay. Well,
yeah, like because you had to do it in the game, and if you can't get the game to load, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah.
The $100 in Pokecoins apparently are also coming later, because I'm sure they were like, we can't give them to you now because reasons.
There's going to be instructions on how you can redeem them, but
yeah.
But when I mentioned they unlocked those bonuses, right now, until I think 5 p.m. Pacific today, there is double XP, double Stardust, double candy, triple buddy candy, and 1/3 egg distances So for people who didn't waste money going to Chicago,
Yeah.
this event has been rad as fuck. Like, I've opened so many eggs. I've gotten like 100,000 experience at least. Heather got 250 Magikarp candies yesterday.
Yeah. It was insane.
Surge opened a Chansey, and because it's like double candy, immediately had enough candy to evolve it into a Blissey. Like, it was an unmitigated disaster, but overall it's been a great event for people who play Pokemon Go. Lots of people out, lots of people doing the raids.
Yeah.
Did a Lugia raid yesterday, got my Lugia.
If you didn't waste your time by going to Chicago, then you were doing great at Pokemon Go.
Honestly, they could have just made Go Fest like a special in-game event, just that people had to coordinate amongst themselves, and it would have been 100 times better, and done like some sort of like very exclusive invite only for like the top like 300 trainers or something like that.
Yeah.
That had like, I don't know. Or
Which
like,
would have been good because they could have brought them all in and says, okay, so we all know that you've been using drones to fuck up the game, so now we're all canceling your accounts.
that's
Welcome
not,
to Chicago.
Yeah. I don't think you can use a drone for that. So that was Pokemon Go Fest. Also, Milwaukee does not like Pokemon Go and tried to like make a law banning Pokestops from being placed in parks because they're like, it's too many people in the parks, it's fucking up the park, and it's like, oh, how dare they encourage people to use the municipal parks? And a federal judge just quashed that, saying, no, that's unreasonable. Like,
Yeah.
you could just, do garbage collection in city parks if increased people visiting the parks are leaving more garbage.
Yeah, if people are there after hours, then have police in the parks
Or
now.
like a guard.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
they do at other parks. Right? Like, so that's probably going to go all the way to the Supreme Court.
What I did think was funny about that article, too, about what happened in Milwaukee County was that it wasn't even Niantic that brought the suit, because I'm assuming they're more busy taking care of other things at this point. It was another AR game that said, hey, wait, you can't ban all AR games because we rely upon being able to do this. Freedom of expression, and then the district judge was like, yeah, okay, I'm putting in an injunction against this, and now they're all going to go to trial. So...
Yay.
Should be interesting.
John Dare says, Kathleen, that's what a lot of us did out in the rest of the world. I wandered my city with almost 100 other Pogo players, and it was awesome. We went to a Lugia raid yesterday. Like, we piled into the car. It was me, Heather, Ash, Graham, and Serge, and we piled into the car and went to a Lugia raid, and there was like 15 people there. And it was amazing when people started catching the Lugia. People were like jumping up and down and cheering. It was great. It was very fun. It's a very fun game to play with and make new friends with. Just don't go to their organized events ever. They're probably never going to host one again because
Probably not.
Also, like, I feel like
It's the kind of thing that I would, if it was me working there, like Heather's complained to me, it's like Niantic really needs a community manager for this game. I'm like, fair enough, they probably need a team. But to me it's
what
like...
they need is a Liz.
Yeah. They need, and like maybe a dozen Liz's like who are looking after different regions and stuff. But but they need somebody who can basically say, if it was up to me, I'd pick something like Odafest in Calgary is about 4,000 to 5,000 people who gather there, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, partner with a convention in an area that's already running, give them some money to help beef up the infrastructure for like Wi-Fi and stuff, and then run the event for the people who are at the convention. You don't have to make a huge deal out of it, and then also those people get to enjoy that. I'm like, that's how I would do it. I'd spread it to like dozens and dozens of conventions all over the place.
Somebody did bring up a good point. They said they are hosting more. Explorer 785 says they are hosting more. There's these things called Go Fests that are happening in Europe in September, which will be on a much smaller scale, and hopefully they can put the learnings in. But my friend Adam, not Adam from here, but Adam Hancock, who's been in some of our stuff.
I think so, yeah.
Is a dedicated Pogo player, as am I. And he's like, Kathleen, we should go to Go Fest. And I was like, no. And now I don't think he's going to go either. Not that he was seriously considering going, but he's like really wants to catch regional Pokemon.
Yeah.
And so,
Like Fuji just caught a Mr. Mime.
Because he's in Europe?
Yeah.
That bastard.
I know, right?
I'm so jealous. I have it in my scene. I have all of the regionals in my scene. I just haven't caught them all. So... apparently they sounds like they're already learning. Yeah, okay, that's cool. And a couple questions coming into the chat here. We're not recording this. This isn't going to go up on YouTube. This is just for you guys on Twitch.
Yeah.
Yeah. A couple questions coming in. Where are Graham? Where is Paul? Graham and Paul are very busy doing paperwork and other stuff as related to Moonbase Mark V. So...
If you want more information on that, go to YouTube. There's a YouTube update video on our channel that explains what's going on if you are unfamiliar.
Yeah. Please come and take our Mr. Mimes. We don't want them. They're creepy. Oh, yeah. There are called safari zones. So is there anybody on tech? No.
This iPad.
This iPad is the tech setup. It's basically Paul's remote control. This is a purely Beige and Kathleen show. Unlimited power, Beige.
I know we can do whatever we want. We can cut to credits like right now.
Can we do the emotes from this?
From this side?
No, I mean not from this screen.
We can do subs from the one side. From this side we have control over scenes, and I think that's about it.
Right, so we can go.
So we go that one. Hey, right? Mics are still live. It's all good.
Go back.
Literally run the intro if we wanted to.
Today we're here. This is the wrong video. This is why we didn't do this. This is Checkpoint. Hi, look, see that happened. That was cool. I don't want to touch it again.
Right back to wide then, I think.
Wide.
Yeah, that way we don't have an issue, hopefully.
Yeah, but I can go, hello.
But apparently that camera's not hooked up.
No, back to wide. No, because there is only one camera in.
Oh, okay.
Right,
So
because normally we have two.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Today,
all this behind the scenes stuff.
Touch it again. So all that before was the cold open, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Beige, what do you have for us this week?
So there is an unreleased level from the original Crash Bandicoot for the PlayStation, coming to the Insane Trilogy remaster. It's called Stormy Ascent, and Naughty Dog apparently worked on this level, never actually released it with the original game, and now that the remaster's gone through, they've gone back, they've remastered that as well. It's a free download if you own the game. It's kind of odd, I think, because they're only making it available for 30 days, so if you don't own the game yet, this is a good time to probably go buy the game so you can download the level, and if you don't own a PS4, I guess you have to do that first, so you can then get the game and then download your level. And it's interesting to me because it's like, I don't know if it's... I'm hoping that the remaster version of the level works with the fact that apparently the game is hard as balls to play.
Yeah, I was watching Graham play this a lot, and Graham, they'll be like, well, Graham is good at video games. My husband is good at video games. Graham is he's good at video games, and he's really good at Crash Bandicoot because he played the shit out of them when he was younger. And he's like, man, do I just suck now? No. And there's a very specific reason for this. Beige,
they changed jump mechanics, and they've also changed the hitboxes, so now they're a pill-shaped hitbox. That causes people to slide off the platforms.
Yeah, because basically if you don't hit at the very bottom of your hitbox, you hit on the curve, and then the curve pushes you forward. Because that apparently is the default hitbox for Unity, is the pill.
Okay.
So, and then, I think people fall faster now. So you have a little less, glide time.
Which is really, all that physics is very important when you're actually trying to control a jump or a fall or anything like that, trying to decide where you're going to end up. So, no word on whether or not because they haven't said anything about, oh, this level will make use of the fact we have remastered it in a way, or a level you've never seen, we've made a version of it that will work with these new hitboxes and jump mechanics or whatever.
I don't think they took that into account at all.
It's probably not important, yeah. It's just more important to get this content together and put it out to hopefully encourage more people to buy Crash Bandicoot.
Also, watching Graham play through these games, you forget how many quality of life improvements have been made to video games in the past 20 years or 15 years, 10 years really, since these games came out. Because, for some things, it's you got to go all the way to the end of a corridor to get an extra item.
Yes.
To open up an alternate end for the level. And nowadays, you would go to the end of this corridor, you'd fight your way through this sort of challenging environment, get your item, and then he'd be like, great, high five, you're done.
Yeah.
You get the screen and you go out of the level, and then you can repeat it again to get the normal ending. In Crash Bandicoot, you've got to go all the way to the end of these corridors or whatever, get the item, and then come all the way back.
Fighting all the stuff you probably just already fought?
The enemies stay dead, but all of the environmental traps are still there though. So you can still just fucking goozle yourself if you time a jump badly, right?
Yeah, we've made a lot of advancements in video game difficulty.
Yeah, not making it miserable.
Yeah.
So, playing Pokemon right now. Ooh, there's an Articuno raid at the gym up the street.
Do you get your Articuno yet?
No, I missed my Articuno.
Heather got hers.
Oh, she got an Articuno?
Yeah.
But does she have? Oh, but she doesn't have a Lugia yet.
That's right.
I did say that after I was done here, I would go out with her and try to find and I would do Lugia raids with her.
That is my first story. Back to you, I guess.
Back to me. Got to get that double experience. All right. Nope, that's the wrong app. The Destiny open beta has been extended by 2 whole days at time of writing and announcement, and actually just till tomorrow at 9 p.m. Pacific, I believe. Or is it 9 p.m. Eastern?
I'm going to assume it's just Eastern.
Yeah, I'm going to assume it's 9 p.m. Eastern because Bungie is in our time zone, so it's probably midnight on Tuesday. So you have until midnight tomorrow to play the the Destiny 2 beta, which, of course, according to Graham, is about 2.5 hours of content, so I don't really see why they needed to extend it for 2 days. But, I mean, maybe they're just getting people hyped for it and
Could
stuff.
be, yeah. I mean, apparently they made changes too, like since it started.
They did, yes. Apparently, grenades are more effective. PvE is generally less shitty. To sum up many of the adjustments they've made.
Depending on your skill level, sure.
Well, there is a real complaint that people felt very underpowered.
Oh, okay. I heard something about like cooldown times were really long or something.
Yeah, and there's people weren't doing as much damage, and they've like fixed the power ammo drop rate because before it was like a very scarce commodity apparently, but. Also, this build of the game is like several months old, so I don't know. Like, I feel like all of these things that you're experiencing like don't really matter.
Because they've either already been patched or something else has been seen too.
It's right in the developer's notes. Like, you know what? Like, but some of these, because this build is several months old, you're validating some of the changes we've already made. It's like, great, thanks. So you knew this was shitty and you rolled out a shitty experience, but don't worry because it's fixed in the real one.
Yep.
Nice beta, idiots.
No, Graham's come in to weigh in on the beta. Graham, how was the beta?
I don't even know if that mic's hooked up. Give it a shot.
Yeah, it's hooked up.
Nice.
Apparently we're doing so badly, Graham's come to rescue us.
No, not doing badly at all. I was just like,
I heard you heard Destiny.
I got so mad.
They had to come.
It's just people had all these complaints about the beta and how it was like the balancing about it felt like a bunch of stuff was balanced for PvP rather than PvE, and things felt sluggish and supers charged slowly and things felt underpowered because of PvP balance.
I actually summed that up as made experience less shitty.
Yeah. And so no, it made the experience shittier.
No, but like they apparently fixed a lot of that.
Yeah, and their comment was like, "Oh yeah, you're playing an old build, and all those things have been addressed in the current thing." And it's like, well, then why would you make that the beta?
Because it's
now not everyone's going to read that.
Yeah.
And now lots of people are going to play the beta and get that impression about the game. And your response is, "Oh yeah, no, we've already fixed all those, but we decided not to let you play that version." That's so stupid.
It's weird that it's like, in order to have a beta these days, if you're going to have a beta period, because beta always meant like this game is broken in some unusual ways. As you wrote, you can still hella get outside the map.
Yes.
Yes.
It's not even. By the way, Foxmar and myself and Eli from the clan did that. There was no trick to it.
Okay.
There's a part in the map where you just duck and walk through the wall. There's a hole. It's not even
It's a hole into nowhere.
It's not even like you pass through a polygon. There's a tunnel, and you're like, oh, I wonder if I can fit in here. Oh, now I'm behind the level.
Can you get out?
Yeah, you can walk back out.
That's cool. Okay. It strikes me. It's like
I then clipped back into the level in a different area.
oh, that's
That
cool
sounds
too.
exciting.
It's
All right.
like this is not.
you found
Yeah.
hyperspace. It's funny because like I can kind of understand the idea where it's like, well, we have a version of the game that is stable enough that we could let people in the public play it, and they probably won't have a shit fit about it constantly failing. And then saying that, so that's going to be our open beta, and then by the time they release it, it's like, well, that's already 3 months old or something like that. Let's make an assumption here. Meanwhile, they've been fixing all this other stuff because it's weird because it's like we have to have a beta product that is playable as opposed to we just give you whatever the latest beta is and just like whatever we're currently working on because we got past the alpha stage, we're to like a reasonable playable state, but it's like, give us the most recent thing that's your most recent playable whatever. We don't care if it has bugs. It's kind of the idea. We're here to help you quash bugs.
Yeah, except betas aren't for quashing bugs anymore
No.
in games like this.
They're
Like,
previews.
yes, exactly. Right,
And this was a
almost-
band preview because
Yes.
it wasn't a good example.
No, but like almost every beta for like every high profile release game has had its beta extended recently due to like overwhelming fan demand. Okay, it's just a preview window.
Yeah.
You're not beta testing anything. basically, like, it's just so it's like, yeah, we know this is shitty, but don't worry, you're playing an old version of the game, so whatever.
There is one hilarious bug where so in Destiny 1 they eventually patched this, but there was a thing you could do where if you pressed the dance emote at exactly the right time as you were also getting on the Sparrow, which is your little sort of speeder bike, then your character would do the dance animation standing on top of the speeder, but you could still drive the speeder around.
So you'd ghost ride the whip.
Yeah, it was called Sparrow surfing. It was a heck of a thing.
I've seen many. I saw you do that for many hours.
Yeah, so you can now do that in the Destiny 2 beta with your super. If you fire off your super at exactly the right moment as you're getting onto a vehicle, then you get back off the vehicle, then you just have your super forever.
Oh, it's just constantly...
It's just constantly going.
Well,
That's probably going to get patched out.
Yeah.
So
there we go. We found a glitch.
Now, Sniper Pumpkin actually does have a very has this to say. The only way this is a beta is if they're looking at network performance, which is essentially impossible to test internally.
That's fair.
So I guess if they are, like, if the point of this beta is not to do any kind of gameplay improvements, but just to see how their servers handle a lot of people coming on in a short period of time, which definitely happens with, like, these hypey betas, right? Because everybody was super gung-ho about it. Yeah, I can see that, but why don't they just say that?
yeah, just call it a network test.
Well, I mean, because the network test sounds bad.
That's true.
And the beta sounds exciting.
But you know what?
But be upfront about what people are testing.
You know what sounds good? Is global test punch and global splat test. Those sound awesome. But that's what the ARMS was, and that's what Splatoon was, is they said, this is not a thing, this is the global test punch. And we want everybody in here to play this thing. It's for them to actually test the network.
Yeah, I mean, that's what the latest Splatfest was network testing, not game testing.
Yeah, just to get an idea of how, and that's, people were like pissed off. They're like, well, why can't Nintendo get a handle on this? I'm like, well, because they have never been able to get a handle on this. I'll cop to that as a Nintendo fan. It's like they don't know how to deal with that.
But like Sniper Pumpkin says, this is like testing. You can't really run tests that will simulate like 40,000 people logging on within 10 minutes of each other, right?
Yeah, from different parts with different lag and everything else involved there. Yeah.
Like, there's no way to test for that, right? So I can see why they're doing that.
So, all right.
Kiwi Jelly says, at Loading Ready Run, I found a place for Epsilon. You can relocate to Winnipeg, right? No.
I mean, we can have Moonbase Epsilon in Winnipeg, sure. The rest of us will be here in Victoria at Moonbase Mark V.
Yeah. Yeah, no, we're
But you do you.
Yep.
But we're hard at work on that. Graham and Paul and James are working on that right now.
Hopefully.
We'll
see.
Sometimes it's a hurry up and wait situation.
Yeah. Although, like, Graham being hopefully we'll see does not fill me with confidence.
Well, yeah, it's... All right.
We're working.
More stories then.
All right, yes, I guess that was me. What are you up to now?
Well, building on the beta thing, I've been afraid of changes, but the landslide brought me down. The American Truck Simulator is closing a major highway for as long as it stays closed in real life. This is a story on Kotaku. So there was a landslide on California Highway 1 near Big Sur. Brought down about 35 feet of dirt covering what was once a highway, and there was about roughly 13 new acres of California coastline, roughly, along that area. And so that happened a few months ago. American Truck Simulator said, well, if they're shutting down the highway near that spot, why don't we reflect that in the real game? And so now there's going to be road closed and police cars actually, I guess, acting as a blockade, meaning that you'll have to take an alternate route to get past this area.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I love the idea of this is happening in real life, so we're going to have this reflect in the game. It's kind of too bad that it's like this has taken them a couple months to have an update that reflects this. But it's such a cool idea to say, like, as changes happen in real life, so they should also happen in the game, because that's what you're aiming for in a simulator game.
Yeah, Machea says, that seems annoying. And yeah, but like the point of this game is not to be like, woohoo, racing trucks. The point of this game is to give you, it's sort of like Desert Bus, but not incredibly shitty, right? Like it's supposed to be a verisimilitator?
Yeah.
Verisimilitator?
Yes.
Where you're actually, it's as close as you can get to actually driving a truck cross country.
I love the idea. I think
simulator.
I guess the only advance you really make to something like this is don't make it something that happens after a couple months. Because of course they don't know how long it's going to take to clear this much dirt. That's a lot of dirt, and who even knows how they're going to end up clearing it, and if they'll have to change how the road runs or whatever like that. If they'll have to, like, because maybe the road has actually been destroyed, they'll have to make a whole brand new road.
It's kind of cool.
It would be really neat to see it like reflected in real time, or near real time, I guess, a kind of thing where you could be like, oh, there's been road closures in real life, so we're going to close those roads in the game, and so therefore you have to find a way out of the traffic and out of the region you're not supposed to be in. But then it just, I guess there are downsides to that, because you could be stuck in a really bad region that you can't drive your truck out of, and I don't know how the game works, but it sounds really neat. I was really impressed by this idea.
Yeah.
Good job, American Truck Simulator.
Also, because Kiwi Jelly has asked a couple of times, they're like, I can help you look for spaces. What's your budget? We are, despite the fact that this came upon us quickly, and we're maybe not known for being the most, we're actually pretty organized. We can put on Desert Bus every year. That's a lot. That's a lie. We're very organized, and we're actually working with a realtor, a commercial realtor who's literally, her job is to find people commercial spaces to rent. Yeah. So we've got that in covered. Yeah.
What's going on today has nothing to do with looking for spaces. It's everything to do with negotiating spaces.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then like all of the other sundries that come with it. So it's there's a lot of paperwork to be done. So we're moving as quickly as we can. So next. So you guys all remember the CSGO gambling controversy that happened earlier, or I guess like last year probably.
That was skins for guns or something.
Yeah, basically in Counter-Strike Go, there are you can get skins for your guns, and some of which are very rare.
Okay.
So it's kind of like hats in Team Fortress 2, or like shiny Pokemon. I'm trying to like give a touch.
It has no bearing on the play of the game.
Correct, but but it's like for swag points.
I get you.
Okay. So now the thing is with those rare skins is sometimes you will get a duplicate of said skin, of that said rare skin, and you're like, oh, well. And then they do have monetary value, because like everything on the internet, just because it doesn't do anything, but if it gives you like sort of swag points for having it, somebody will buy that for you on like a secondary market, right?
Fair enough, okay.
They'll throw you $2-3. Like,
yeah.
Some of these skins are worth nothing, but some of them are worth like 50, 60, $100 if they're incredibly rare or like in high demand.
Okay.
Like anything online. So last year, people came up with the idea of CSGO gambling websites where you would throw in skins and then you could get, basically if you rolled well, you could get a really good skin or a worse skin or something like that. And so basically you could pay to enter these gambles essentially. And there was a way to turn this into real money. And so there's a lot of these CSGO skin gambling websites, several of which were owned by people who stream CSGO and advertised these skin gambling websites without disclosing that they were in business with the websites or like the sole owners of them, and showing rigged gambling rolls.
Oh, this seems more shady than hell.
Oh,
wow.
We're like in FTC violation territory. I'm recapping for you too.
Thank you. Yeah, because I didn't get all the details of this.
Yeah. So
where does this leave us now? People got banned, I understand.
Yes, a bunch of people got shut down. A lot of people had their Twitch, they weren't allowed to shut down on Twitch. The FTC is investigating a lot of this stuff. People got sued. Counter-Strike made changes to stop this. It was like, everybody's like, whoa, so shady, super shady. This whole thing was an absolute cluster. That was exactly right. It was an awful clusterfuck, and they were basically being like, hey, check out this sweet skin gambling website. Oh my God, I won big. I bet you guys could too. That's amazing. And of course, you won big when you can control the odds of you getting a rare skin on the back end. So anyhow, that was really, really, really bad. Now, that was a year ago. Why am I talking about this now? Well, one of the people sort of caught up in this, not one of the key ringleaders. The key ringleaders are almost certainly going to jail, but one of the people sort of caught up in this was a guy named James Verga, who went by the name Phantom Lord on Twitch. Now, he was caught up in this, like he might have been on the take, I guess. I don't know exactly what his involvement was. I don't think he owned any of these websites, but certainly some streamers were like running these rigged gambles that they knew they'd win, and then, being paid off to talk up these sites, right? Oh, this was also a real big problem because a lot of kids were doing this.
Like playing the games or
throwing money at these websites, like people under 18.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Right?
All right, yeah.
With no, this is gambling. That's super illegal. So But last year, so this Phantom Lord guy was involved in this, and he got banned from Twitch, as most of the people involved did.
Right.
And then he completely laid low for a year. But now he's back, but not on Twitch, because he's still banned from Twitch. But he did post a 6-minute-long tirade on YouTube, and he is mad salty. Here's what he said. Here's a direct quote. I'm not being sued right now. I haven't been in jail. You guys think I'm in Mexico? Like, what the fuck? I've just been here chilling, and it's taken a year because you guys are fucking savage. Maybe people are fucking savage to you because you fucking bilked people out of their money. You were a very bad man. You deserve the savagery.
It's true. Yeah.
So
I think it's funny because, well, and one of the other quotes was that he, and I'm maybe paraphrasing this a bit, but it's essentially, I'm going to express my rights to the fullest extent of the law. I'm like...
And also read a statement from his lawyer.
Yeah, right. It's like, you're not being sued, but you have a lawyer. You lawyered up.
You have to retain a lawyer. You have done something bad.
Yeah, but he wants back onto Twitch. And I'm like, I can understand. If I was banned from Twitch, I would want to come back on. That's the premier place to go to get, and not just because we do that there, but it's because it's the premier place to go to stream these days. But it kind of is like, I'm going to express my rights. I'm kind of like, dude, you have every right in the world to be angry about it if you are. You can feel your feelings. That's okay. You can't feel your feelings all over a private company that controls whether or not you get access, though. I don't think you can go to a judge and say, you have to force them to let me back onto this because it's my livelihood. You're just going to have to go to, like, I don't know, Smash Punch or whatever the other new names of these other, like, second-tier streaming websites are. I think you're going to have to do that. Or maybe just try to lobby Twitch to let you back on.
Or stream on YouTube. You're not banned from YouTube. I mean, I know YouTube streaming is not where it's at, but, well, you did something really fucking shitty and you stole money from people. You're basically, as Kiwi Jelly said, you're basically a movie villain. Yeah. So, take your punishment.
Turn those 500,000 subs you have on your YouTube channel into some YouTube streaming.
How does he have 500,000 more subs than we do, and he hasn't done anything for a year? It's so sad.
Maybe we need to try that.
No, let's not do actual villainy.
No, I just meant, what if we went dark for a year? What would happen to our subscribers?
I think maybe some of them. Like, I don't think people would actively cancel their subscription, I guess, but I'm just annoyed that he has 5 times the sub that we do.
It's fair, yeah. That is frustrating. You'd think people would maybe be a little more like, I don't want to support this. Maybe I will pull my sub. Maybe I will not pay attention to whomever. But
yeah. I mean, somebody was like, doesn't Lure retain a lawyer? I mean, no, because we don't have any. If we needed legal advice, we would contact a lawyer and stuff. But we don't have one on retainer who's prepared a statement for us to read. We just don't have one sitting around.
It's like, I better have this boilerplate.
Because of shady bastard shit that we did, we are not sorry because we haven't been proven in a court of law to have done any of this shady bastard shit that you think that I did because I did it.
Yeah.
Like, we don't have that boilerplate just hanging around in the back of our pockets.
Also, let me do whatever I want on the company that doesn't want me back.
Yeah. Let's not do actual villainy. Because then we add that to the Lure quote archive. That sounds so unlike me.
All right.
Oh, but then we have the best story of the day.
Kathleen found this and said, Beej, you have to do this. And I was like, hell yeah, I have to do this. It's a story on Kotaku. Fans turn butt-bumping wrestling anime into real sport. And I was like, what the hell is she talking about? And I go, look, and it's Keijo. And for those of you who listen to our seasonal anime podcast, Ano Ani, we talked about Keijo twice. Then the first time we talked about it, we were like, this looks like garbage. We are not watching this show. And then the second episode that followed that was like, oh my god, Keijo was so good. It had no right to be as good as it was, but it was really entertaining and so stupid. And that's what made it entertaining. So there are some Portuguese Keijo fans who decided, you know what, let's get the Keijo training started and let's actually see how we can do this. And so women have been signing up for what is essentially women's sumo in a pool with big inflatable rafts. So that's your land, as they refer to it in the Keijo anime. And they're not wearing the bikinis and all the crazy outfits. They're wearing like one pieces. They have they have swim caps on, and they're wearing hip and thigh padding to protect themselves as they're throwing these hits. Because Keijo, just for those of you who I'm leaving off here, actually, it is a anime about it's an anime and manga about a woman's sport where women go in a pool and fight on a floating platform, and they try to knock each other off using only their boobs, their butts, and their hips. You're not allowed to use any other part of your body. You can run around and you can do whatever. You can't grab your opponent. You can't use your head. You can't do anything else. And of course, it sounds incredibly exploitative, and it is. but it's just so dumb as an idea that it actually became a really funny, interesting show to watch. There's not going to be any of this like butt vacuum or what was the other thing the girl had? She had the thing where she could move her boobs back and forth and hypnotize her opponents into like not doing stuff. It got really, really crazy.
Somebody says, what Patreon tier do we have to get to hit to get Ben and Serge to do this? I would love to get a pool and do this IRL.
We should just give it a shot.
And as people are like, for fuck's sakes, Japan. No, for fuck's sakes, Japan and Portugal, thank you. Japan thought of this. The Portuguese are doing this.
Yeah.
They're both equally complicit. Complicit.
I'm so happy. It's like they said, oh, wait, what if this actually was a real sport? What if we could make it a real sport? And now they're seeing if they can make it a sport.
I mean, it kind of sounds like water sumo sounds like kind of a cool sport.
Yeah.
And it's more like active sumo, right? Because you got to sort of like run around and like get the momentum. I haven't seen Keijo, but you got to get momentum up for a good hip check. Right?
Exactly. And there's also, I mean, the thing is also it's dangerous because there's a contact sport and it's happening about like 2 feet above the actual water, and there's a real possibility you can knock someone into the water, they could get hurt, like that kind of thing. So you have to have lifeguards and all those kind of things. So yeah, it's as dumb as the idea sounds, it also sounds like something I'd actually want to watch to see how they're making it happen.
Yeah, I mean, I could honestly see this could be. Is it like a solid platform or is it like a ring?
It looks like it's a ring that has a netting in between it. So it's dipped a little in the middle. Like in the actual show, it is a solid ring that is floating, and it got in like one of the later things when they have a huge tournament between the West and the East. They build a jungle gym, essentially.
It's like East-West Bowl in there.
Essentially, yeah. And they build a jungle gym that is anywhere from, it looks like it's probably about only supposed to be 15 feet high, but in the anime it looks like it's about 50 feet high.
Dear Christ.
And of course it's not made of anything padded. It's all just pieces of bars of metal, and ladies are knocking each other into the bars and off the thing and plummeting into the pool, and I'm like, everyone is going to die playing this game. So they're not going to do that, I don't think.
No, I think IRL Keijo could be fun if we could get a platform made and find a pool that would let us do that.
Yeah.
I wonder if we could find like...
I'm sure like there's places that like bigger pools just have the floating platforms in the back for like fun things, as
Maybe.
a dock or something. But yeah.
I don't know. This is probably something we could look into. I'm sort of delighted by this
The next
idea.
big thing after PUBG for us.
Who thought Bars of Metal was safe? I don't think anybody in the anime thought this was safe. I think it's just for show, right?
Yeah.
Like they don't care about they don't think people are actually going to do this.
They build a giant house in the pool, and then the house starts to fall into pieces. That's part of the match. As people get thrown out, the house falls into pieces and falls in the pool, so you have less space to battle.
Really?
Yep.
Crazy.
Yeah. But that is the stories we had lined up this week.
Well, there's a couple other stories that we're like less interested in.
Yeah.
There's a guy who's making his own not super simplistic, but there's a guy who's decided he needs to make a new type of fighting game because all fighting games are too complicated. It's like a former fighting game pro who a lot of people are sort of in the community are divided about because they don't. Maybe he said some. He's done some sort of questionable things in the guise of promoting the fighting game community as a whole. But anyhow,
he's been to EVO and he's played a lot of Street Fighter.
Yeah, but like people in the fighting game community are like mad on him, and I can't remember his name.
Yeah, I can bring that up.
But so no, this guy was. Hold on, what's his name?
His name is David Serlin.
David Serlin. So if you know about fighting games, you might know this guy. So no, he basically everybody is talking about dive kick. Yes, he saw dive kick, and he was like, despite the fact that you can't even move in this game, you can just dive and kick. This is surprisingly deep gameplay. Maybe the issue with like what he finds his complaint with like a lot of modern fighting games is they're so overcomplicated, they're very hard to learn, and they have a lot of uncontested skills, such as you learn to input a combo and then you execute the combo, and if I'm caught in the combo, that's it. I'm going to take this damage, right?
Yeah.
As opposed to contested skills where you're just trying to land damage by getting somebody into your damage radius area, right, and get a punch on them where they could block that punch or they could get out of the way.
Yeah.
So basically he's trying to bring fighting games back to if dive kick is at one end and like Street Fighter Alpha is at another end, he's like saying, why don't we have something in here?
Yeah.
Right? Something a little bit easier and with less mechanics. So he's working on this game. And people are very divided. They're like, I don't think it'll hold people's interest because it'll be too simple.
Yeah.
But so we'll see. It's interesting.
I love the idea that there's a few things in the game that I thought were really interesting that he talked about. For one thing, characters can't crouch. And you'd think that, okay, that seems like a terrible idea. It's like, yeah, but if nobody can crouch, then that's how that is. You have like a single attack button and 2 special buttons.
Yeah.
And I think jump is mapped to a button, but you can map it to like a joystick maneuver if you prefer, like other ones do. But I mean, Smash I think uses a button for jump, and it doesn't matter. But it's just one of those things where he's like, we'd like to be everybody's secondary fighting game. And like throws was another thing. He says the way throws work in a game right now is that you can try to throw, but if somebody tries to throw you when you try to throw them, they'll actually win, because if they throw you at about the same time, it's like a parry, like a judo kind of thing. You reverse the person's strength. He says in our game, we're actually just making it so that if somebody tries to throw you, but you let go of the controller and don't touch buttons for that instant they're touching you, if you're in your idle animation, you do what's called a Yomi counter, is what they're calling it, and then you throw them instead. And I love the idea of you can block something that's happening to you by doing nothing at all. That's a really neat idea. Who knows if this takes off?
Yeah. Somebody said, I think it was Allness49, was like, so it's simple to play, hard to master. That is what he is going for. And the idea being that if you're really good at like Street Fighter, or you're like a Smash player or something like that, or a Tekken player, you'll be able to pick this game up quickly and play it with other people, not just only people who are really fucking good at Tekken.
Yeah.
Right? Like the idea being it's sort of more accessible to a larger group of people.
Yeah.
And it's not the deepest fighting game out there, but it has enough to hold people's interest, and it's fun to play.
Yeah.
Right?
That's his assertion.
Yes.
We'll see if that plays out.
Yeah. So, but I mean, like, it's kind of interesting. Like, the only way to cancel out of a throw is to do nothing, because then they don't. If they see that you're doing nothing, maybe they don't do a throw and just land a punch, and you can't block it because you're doing nothing.
Exactly. You were waiting to, and yeah.
Yeah. So.
Anything else you want to cover, or do you think we've?
Sony's dev kit got leaked online, and now they're trying to take it off.
Yeah.
And you might think, why? What's the big problem? It's like, because if you get the dev kit, you know how the PS4 works, so you can jailbreak the PS4, or you can put up things that exploit the hardware in some way. It's just a general security issue Sony does not want to have floating around. So someone's going to get sued.
Yeah, it's funny too. Like, I mean, the alternate side of it though is that according to the Ars Technica article that was talking about this, is that they're kind of just shotgun blasting the whole internet. So if you talk about the SDK in like forum posts, if you don't even link to it, if there's nothing going on, you just have a discussion about it. The cease and desists are going to there as well. There's a open source SDK that's for homebrew, for like if you have a already jailbroken PS4, and that SDK is like, yes, we run on a PS4, but it has to be jailbroken, but they have nothing to do with the jailbreaking of it, is how they put it. But again, that SDK, that home open source SDK, has now been like, oh, you have to take this thing down, and the guys who are running the sites are like, that site specifically are like, we don't see the point in this. Like, I think we just got caught in the shotgun blast, but if we have to, we'll take it down, but we're not doing that yet because we clearly we're not in violation of anything.
Yeah, and then people are like, so we get a cease and desist for talking about it? I mean, we're not linking to it, so no.
Yeah.
But I guess they don't even want people to talk about it, that this is out there.
Yeah.
Well, we live dangerously here at Loading Ready Run. Maybe we should have that lawyer entertainer.
Yeah. It's just
But we're not recording this to go up on YouTube. Haha.
That's right. They'll have to get it in the VODs.
And the VODs are terrible to navigate. They'll never know. Perfect. Oh, and somebody built a punching, shooting version of Doomfist in Minecraft.
I literally thought it was going to be like a giant statue.
No,
but
it's actually you would just play as Doomfist and
yeah.
do the super punch and then shoot the things.
Yeah.
Punches mans.
I didn't realize you could do that kind of customization. But that's kind of cool. It's like he's been apparently the guy who's been doing it, McMackey-Stein, has been doing a whole bunch of other characters. He does like Tracer and stuff. Mercy is his next one he's doing.
Yeah.
So that's kind of cool if you like to try Doomfist out before actually getting to play Doomfist in the actual game it's from.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's not off like the testing server yet. So yeah, this could be your first chance at playing Doomfist.
Yep. And wait until they build all the Minecraft mechanics back into Overwatch they were probably intending to do in the first place.
I like how Minecraft, the thing to do is make another game in Minecraft so you don't have to play Minecraft.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, why don't we build a fully functional arcade cabinet so I can play Pac-Man? What was the other game that they totally did in Minecraft?
Pokemon Red, I think.
Pokemon Red.
Yeah.
They put, who wants to play Minecraft when you play Pokemon Red? Like literal Pokemon Red.
Yeah.
Why? Oh my God. What a project. I can't even, I understand how he did it, but, because it's not like programming, like, because you do the command blocks to program in It's not like that's elegant.
No. No, and as my understanding, it's not even like a fast way to play the game either. But it's I do like tackling something just for the sake that it's there. It's like, can we make this happen? It's like, maybe we can. Yes, we did. Hooray!
The portal gun's also been modded in. Yeah, anything but vanilla Minecraft is what I'm hearing.
Yeah. Which is what James plays all the time on 9 o'clock is vanilla Minecraft, apparently.
Absolutely. Like, well, he was playing the Butter Road incident. That was some sort of modded version of Minecraft.
Was it? Okay. I was not aware of that.
I think he might be playing vanilla now.
Ah. Oh, well, Rebellious Uno can tell us.
Yes. Uno, are you guys playing vanilla right now? I can tell you all about Butter Road. Oh, you are playing vanilla, but Butter Road wasn't vanilla, was it?
Oh, they've only played like 3 eps of vanilla, so Butter Road must not have been in vanilla, because that was a few weeks ago.
I know how it's become the Butter Road incident. And more vanilla this week. Excellent.
It's good.
Oh, but yeah, okay, Butter Road was modded. I don't play Minecraft, but I've seen enough Minecraft that I'm like, I'm going insane if that's vanilla Minecraft that they built that in. Anyhow, I think that's it. I don't have anything else to talk about. Do you, Beej?
Nope.
Beej, how do we do the subs?
We go to this screen, and then I hit start, and they will overlay on top of the screen. And you usually just have them as an overlay, like not like a faded out thing like we do for live, right? They just show up normally?
No, they just show up normally.
All right, well, let's see if this works. Thank you for subscribing to Sir Garrett Cameron. 10 months. Remix.
And Psychic Catch-Up for 41 months says, always be donk donk.
Thanks to surfing the Tech Tick for 2 months. I have such fond memories of sucking at this game back at Tech House in college. I think this is maybe a few ways back.
Maybe?
Yeah.
Lawrence72 is a new subscriber.
And Jesse Kins is a new subscriber. Welcome to you both.
And Gothic Monkey for 15 months says, catching this live. Been so happy to watch you guys play the first Rhythm Heaven game I ever played.
I wonder if they did the subs for Rhythm Heaven or not. Well, we're getting those now too. Lexprod for 10 months. Let's all sub together now. This is definitely Rhythm Cafe.
Well, Echo King for 4 months. Headbanging up in here like a metal concert.
I wonder if I can... Mr. Ran for 30 months. How many games are in this series?
I mean, checkpoint 1.
Yeah.
This one. Bacon Fork for 2 months says, okay, it's on.
Maybe this is it now? Nope. Captain Falafel for 43 months. Rah, rah, sis, boom, ba-boom.
Nova Spectre for 10 months says, can I just say I find the character design in this game something.
Jandy Marai, we're catching up as a new Patreon supporter. Thank you, Jandy. Really appreciate that.
Jason Harris is a new Patreon supporter. Thank you, Jason.
And Spencer Peacock is also a new Patreon supporter. Thank you to you as well. I think we are getting very close to...
D. Tesson is a new Patreon supporter. Wow, so many Patreon supporters. Thank you.
And Joshua Francis 03 is a new subscriber. Welcome to the stream, Joshua.
And Bodie McBoatface Jr. for 7 months says, avocado toast has ruined this generation. Flips table. I love that these memes mean nothing to me.
Yeah. The Woogly for 10 months says, yay, Cheech points.
Cheech point. A Raven for 40 months says, 40 months, hype. Hello, friends.
Hello, Raven. Bitter One for 5 glorious months. Welcome back, Bitter One.
And Friendly Neighborhood GM has subscribed for 15 months in a row.
Juniper P1 has subscribed for 15 months as well. Hope the move goes smoothly and you're comfortably settled in Mark 5 by the time I hit 16.
That's ambitious. Bench 591 for 10 months. And thank you for 706 bits from
Splash for Mirrodin, E-Monotony, Robo Nixon, Zabaron, Dryocenth, Super Sugar Sloth, Nomeniminis, Barbarian, and Earthen One.
Yay!
Good for us.
All right, I'm going to hit clear.
That should do it. There we go.
It worked! It worked! It worked!
We'll never need Paul again.
No, that's a very big lie. It's possibly the biggest lie.
I'll never need Paul again. I won't be on this show again.
Paul, I need you. Come back. Don't leave me. I'm scared, and once the lights go off, it's quite dark in the studio. Shall we
run our credits?
Yeah.
That will also show the coming up thing, I think, as well. But
oh, yeah. Well, let's, actually, what are the... I see credits.
And then there's the thanks.
Okay, so credits. Let's run those.
Okay. Ooh.
Coming up, Graham and Paula are still away. Will Beige and Kathleen do Checkpoint again next week? I kind of hope not, but we'll see. Also, look at this. God, why is this clip so long? It just keeps going. That's a lot of punching. Beige, how do you feel about it?
I feel pretty good about having a giant man beat the hell out of a small boy.
Does this just run until we tell it to stop?
I don't think so. It looks like it's the same clip over and over. Also, were you throwing shade at me for for not coming back to host Checkpoint with you?
Wait, what did I say?
You said, "Oh, I hope we don't have to." It's like, "Will Beej and I do it next week?" God, I hope not.
No.
I'm like, hey, wait a second.
Well, no, it's not that I disliked you being here. It's just that, this is it's not an optimal viewing experience not to have the beautiful graphics and transitions that Paul brings to the table.
That's very true. He would also know.
Graham would also be here.
And Paul would probably know when to stop this so that it was actually doing it. I imagine we just have to hit.
We know the mics are still hot, guys.
You probably have to hit thanks at this point to make it go offline.
Oh, maybe. Let's try that.
It might be the same clip. I don't know.
This is just on an infinite loop. This poor small man's being beaten into a paste and we're responsible.
I feel pretty good about that.
Yeah!